Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video. In tonight's video, we are going to be talking about the top 5 best weapons for Black Ops 4 multiplayer as of right now, September 7th, 2019, when I am recording this commentary. Now, as you guys probably already know, with Call of Duty games, especially with Treyarch titles in particular, the weapon balancing goes up and down and left and right and all over the globe, it seems, when it comes to like a yearly life cycle. Similar things happen with Black Ops 3, even a little bit more Black Ops 2, but of course gaming in general, the games nowadays get way more updates than they did back in the day. But now going into September, we have the Modern Warfare beta coming out very soon. We have Modern Warfare actually coming out towards the end of October, which isn't that far away from now. I think the meta has sort of settled down in Black Ops 4. I wanted to make this video to talk about, in my opinion, the top 5 best weapons, and we'll get into it right now. If you could drop a like on this thing, that would be absolutely incredible. Remember, it only takes like, what, 3-4 milliseconds to smack that like button. I would appreciate if we go for 505 likes. That would be awesome. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and not already subscribed, and let's get into it. First of all, I have to say these are in my opinion, and these are in no particular order, because if you're a rush happy player, of course an SMG is going to be your favorite or best weapon. However, if you're in phase plan and you're a professional quickscoper, of course this best sniper in the game is going to be your best weapon in your hands, right? So that's why I don't put these in any particular order. Feel free to leave in the comment section down below your particular top 5 list, and I'm going to give some honorable mentions as well towards the end. So let's get into it and talk about it. Coming in at number 1, once again in no particular order, not saying this is number 1 means the best or the worst, the KN 57. This weapon is a beauty, and the reason why I've always loved this weapon, and I still do to this day, they haven't touched it too much. Instead of honestly, they gave it some small buffs over the timeline quite a bit, and they just sort of picking at this thing, giving it small buffs, and this thing actually has gotten to a point where it can compete with the likes of a Maddox. I mean, if you have rapid fire on this thing, you can actually beat the time to kill on a Maddox at certain places and certain certain time to kills at certain ranges. With the rapid fire, you can actually beat it at the closest range with that, as well as the KN. Of course, it's just much easier to hit your shots at range than the Maddox, even though the Maddox technically would kill better at certain ranges if you hit every shot. This weapon can compete with that, and that's all that matters, because you also have so many different attachments. And I like this thing because I think of it as a more rush happy or more utility based version of the Vapor, which is another weapon I love as well. With this thing, you can smack on hybrid mags, which, by the way, what a W it is on any weapon that has hybrid mags. Absolutely crazy. You can slap on a silencer, stock. I think there even is extended mags on this thing, right? Grip, rapid fire, quick draw. I mean, what is not available? This is the absolute mecca of attachments you got here. I mean, you don't have high caliber 1 and 2 or anything like that, but the KN overall, this weapon is one that you can pick up. You can sort of go your own way with the class up, or go a way that a normal class up or a way that other people would go, and you can still dominate. I think this is definitely a top 5 weapon in this game, and it's one that overall, with the way the maps are sort of medium, the maps are sort of medium size in this game, but not so small where an SMG always works out. That's where a weapon like this comes into play and works out very well. Coming in, and the second weapon we have to talk about today is going to be the SOG 9mm. Now, pretty predictable that this was going to be on the list, because it is widely considered as the best SMG, and if not the best SMG, at least one of the top, whatever, 2 or 3. This thing is absolutely amazing overall, and once again, here you have an SMG that is widely used by professional players and across this game. It works wonders with attachments, or not attachments, but perks such as gung-ho and dexterity, and you have stock available on this weapon. Not only that, double stock is available on this weapon, and while that used to be something that was a lot stronger before they nerfed that quite a while ago, when they realized, hey, maybe we shouldn't have put double stock on this absolutely terrifying high-level unlock SMG, but that is the way it is. Even though they nerfed that second stock, this thing is still amazing, and there's multiple ways that you can use the SOG 9mm, and while this thing has a respectable, super-duper high, over 1,000 RPM fire rate, it doesn't go as crazy as something like a Spitfire, but when you put yourself in, and you put the Spitfire in your hands, you're limiting yourself to a certain very, very small, in the sort of same room range. With the SOG 9mm, you're extending that a little bit, and you're giving yourself more room, more breathing room overall, I guess you could say. And that's why I say this is probably the best SMG overall, and a great weapon to use if you're just looking for a good rush-happy SMG. Coming in at number 3 on this list is going to be the Rampart, and this is where things get a little bit interesting because the Rampart is one that I see the community being very split on, and I think I know why. You'll see some people saying Rampart is the #1 gun in the game, I can't use anything else, and you'll see other people say, well, that's just like a slow shooting Scar H to me. I don't see the wonders in it. And it all comes down to that this weapon is a top 5 weapon in the game, the Rampart, but it's for a niche reason. It's for the time to kill based on the high caliber 1 and high caliber 2 attachments, and using this weapon for headshots and shots to the upper chest. If you're using this weapon properly and you're hitting those shots, the time to kill is top tier, and you can be wiping people out. On the other hand, if you're using this weapon, you're just picking it up, throwing whatever attachments you want on this thing, it has a pretty slow fire rate, pretty slow handling, and a lot of weaknesses to it. So the Rampart is a top tier weapon, but it is used for that playstyle where if something like the KN or the SOG, the first 2 weapons I talked about, you can sort of put those weapons in your hand and flow with the game. With the Rampart, it's more like letting the game flow to you. You're not going to have a quick draw available on the class up. Usually you're going to use probably double high cal and then either a grip or a fast mags, or maybe all those combined with 4 attachments. Maybe not even, because you might want to have a red dot as well to be able to hit those upper body shots as well. This weapon, it gets a little bit more confusing, but it still is top tier. But there's a reason why some people love it and some people hate it, and it all comes down to that. Give this weapon a try. Make sure you're using it with the right class up. If at the end of the day, though, it's one that it's not like the KN where you can you can't really play as brainless or mindlessly with this weapon. You know, when I put this thing in my hands, I might be listening to a podcast and just playing casual Call of Duty. If I have a KN 57 in my hands, I can just go ahead and slay out. If I have the Rampart, I need to focus a little bit more and be more tactical with what I'm going to do, because I can't just get caught in the same room with another player or I'm going to die. On the other hand, if I catch someone across the map with a boop boop to the head, that's the benefit of it, right? So that's why it deserves a spot on this list. Coming in at number 4 here is going to be the Daemon 3XB, and this is the first, I guess, DLC weapon or weapon that is not freely available to everyone in this game, I don't think. The Daemon 3XB, that's the first one on this list, right? So think about this weapon. Is this one was at a stupid duper, why do I keep saying stupid duper, super duper overpowered place in this meta a couple months back. They ended up nerfing that, and I understand the thing around this one also is that people have mixed opinions when it comes to a burst SMG. When it comes to something like the Chickum CQB and BO2, that weapon was okay, but I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Burst SMGs are weird. They are stuff that we aren't used to, especially when you have to keep tapping the trigger, right? But the Daemon 3XP, what makes this weapon so great, not only can you just rip people apart with the high cal, the rapid fire, the attachment and features on this weapon, but the fact that you can get consistent 2 burst kills pretty much, and that at close range, that time to kill isn't too crazy, isn't too long compared to other things, but also at a longer range where other SMGs, except maybe probably the GKS, which is sort of like an ICR laser beam version of an SMG, all the other SMGs really don't come into play at long range. And while the Daemon can be tough, I'm not saying to stand there at range and try to 3-burst people at range. What I love about this weapon is it's great for either finishing off kills or for putting damage into a player, just because your ability to either look at a player across the map or whatever, have an elo sound on this weapon, which is how I usually use it, and just boom, put that burst into that player. With the way Black Ops 4 works, you don't necessarily have to get the complete damage of a kill to really maximize, or not maximize, but benefit to an extreme level off of the points, and those go to score streaks, which can go to kills, which can go to wins, which can go to points, score, anything you want out of this game. And that's something that the Daemon, why I like this thing, is that range. You can still do some pop shots with it. I guess that's the best way to describe it. And coming in at number 5 here for the top 5 weapons in this game is going to be the Maddox. The Maddox is a weapon, once again, has been used year-round pretty much, and has gotten nerfs because it was at a point way when the game first came out where it was by far and above the best, but it still is a very, very strong weapon. Thing with this one is you're going to deal with a little bit of recoil up to the right, but this weapon is very, very strong. You have the stock, you have fast mags, you have quick draw, you have standard attachments that you want on this thing. The operator mod also is fairly decent as well, but most people just use it without the operator mod. You're basically going to have a fast firing, faster killing can, unless the can has rapid fire, but then you're going to have to, on the other hand, have a little bit of recoil upper to the right. People tend to deal with that, and this is a weapon that people that do use it, use this weapon fairly commonly, and you can sort of adapt to that recoil and be able to pull down against it. So that's what we have as far as the top 5 weapons in this game. Use any of these weapons and use them properly, you will do well and you will dominate in multiplayer. But I want to give some honorable mentions because I know there's a bunch of DLC weapons that are top tier earlier in this game, and I want to try to give as much as I could on the normal weapons because those are more widely available. But DLC weapons, if you have these ones available for you, I mean, the Grav, the Peacekeeper are just wonderful, wonderful things. But something like Peacekeeper, if you don't have the Peacekeeper, you could sort of find an alternative with a KN or a Maddox with that. Probably I would say the KN would be the closer one. But yeah, honorable mention to the Grav, honorable mention to actual weapons such as the Switchblade, SMG, and Spitfire, which are going to be the best bets. If you're someone that plays up close and personal, Switchblade and Spitfire, you want to check out those two SMGs. And if you're someone that plays only at longer ranges and longer lines of sight, you like to maybe sit back a little bit, play more stationary, which everyone plays in different ways, ICR and the Swordfish are the two weapons you're going to want to check out. Those are probably the best for long range, big damage, and consistency. And the downside of those ones is you don't have stock available. The downside of a Spitfire and a Switchblade, of course, is you can't really do anything at range, but those are weapons are definitely deserve honorable mentions, and I should probably make, you know, a top 10 video or, you know, more class ups definitely coming up. Let me know what you want to see in the comment section down below. Let me know your top 5 or what you guys think of this. Once again, it's all opinion based, and there is, you know, a dozen plus great weapons in this game, so there are a bunch of different options, but I think that for me personally, these weapons work well in a bunch of different scenarios, and that's what it's about. It's about picking a weapon when you go into a map and a game mode that's going to be reliable and going to be the best in the majority of scenarios versus one that's going to be like, oh, I just got, you know, 3 one-shot headshots because of this amazing operator mod, but I'm 3 and 20. You know, I'd much rather be 100 to 20 chilling with an overpowered weapon and just, you know, that's what I have fun with, using the best weapons and doing well in the game. Thanks for watching, though. Hopefully this video did help you guys out. Let me know what you want to see next from me down in the comment section down below, what video class setups you want or weapons from BO4 you want class setups for. That's about it. Drop a like, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.